Hi everyone, my name is Akshaya Kaure. I'm a nature and animal communicator, which means I can speak to plants, animals, and other species and have two-way conversations with them. One of the most common obstacles we face as intuitive communicators is our involvement in the communication. We could be emotionally involved because we are close to the animal. We could be involved because we've gone through certain experiences which are very similar to the communication. We could be simply involved because of our own previous experiences, good or bad. And this can create a block in our communication because no matter what we receive from animals, we constantly feel it is coming from our own selves. This is a very common obstacle a lot of us face, not just people who are just starting out, but even people who have practiced for many, many years. And if you're someone who's stuck with this problem, don't worry, you're not alone. We all face it, I face it too. And here are a few things I do to help me overcome that obstacle. So, in a lot of these cases where I know that I'm emotionally involved, I do take help from other communicators. Do not look at taking help as a challenge or a question on your skill of communication. That could be one of the biggest mistakes that we do. We will need help in many times in our lives, in our journeys as communicators, and it's okay to seek help. It just releases a lot of pressure from us, and especially because if we know that we are emotionally involved and there's a possibility that that emotional involvement can come in the way of us being neutral, it is good to ask for help. So I reach out to my students, my peers, my fellow communicators. I do talk to the animal, especially when it comes to my own animals. I do this not if it's a consultation, but if it's my own animals, I'll do this. I'll talk to my animals. I will tell the other communicator what I have received, and I'll say that if there's anything else that I'm not receiving because I'm emotionally involved, please do share. So, this helps the animal trust me, continue to trust me because I've already spoken. I'm not doubting our relationship, but I'm acknowledging certain obstacles that I may have as well. So, this is number one, that if it's my own animal, I will not hesitate to ask for help. The second thing I do is if it is someone else's animal, I will go through what is being asked, and if I feel like it is something that I may be emotionally involved, I will not hesitate to tell the human about it and refer them to someone else. I feel like this is very important for me as a communicator because if I am doing this professionally and if I feel it's not something that I can handle, it is the best to forward it to people who can do a better job at me. An excellent example of this is missing cases. A lot of people ask me why I don't take missing cases, and one of the reasons is that sometimes I feel I don't have the time to do it immediately and hence I don't take it up. In a lot of other cases, I may be impacted by the urgency and the emotional involvement of the human in the outcome of the communication, which is to find the animal. Now, as a communicator, I understand that I cannot guarantee finding the animal. I can't even guarantee what the animal is going to share because it completely depends upon their free will. However, since I know this, I forward it to other people. I give it to other people who I know can be neutral. So this is one place where I don't mind seeking help or saying no, even when I'm going through something in my personal life, and if the cases that I receive are very similar to what I'm going through and I feel like I may feel blocked, I will happily give it to someone else on this because of this. The second thing that I do is if there are only certain points where I feel I'm stuck, in the conversation everything is fine, but there are certain things where I feel like I'm not getting enough information, I take a break. I will take a break from the communication and get back to it when I feel grounded, or I will come back to that question later. So I'll move on to the next question and come back to that question later. So the second thing I do is take a break or come back to the question later. And the third thing that really helps me is to pause, take a few deep breaths. I actually sit down and write down what I feel about it, what are my projections, what are my emotions, about the topic. and I actually write it down, and once I read it I understand, okay, clearly this is my thought. I go back to the animal, share my thought with the animal and say, now you tell me what you want to share. So if the animal agrees, they'll say, okay, yes, I agree. If the animal say, no, I don't agree with you, and share their opinion, I know that there's a difference between what I feel versus what is coming from the animal. So these are a few things I do to help me overcome my personal inhibitions, opinions. And let me tell you this very honestly, at least in my personal practice, it does happen. I definitely do work towards minimizing it. However, I'm human and I am going to have my own emotions, and I cannot deny it. Denial only makes it worse. So I acknowledge it. I do my best to overcome it, and in cases I'm unable to, I don't hesitate to ask for help from outside. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful. If you did, do comment in the comment section below your experiences so that we can learn from each other. Until the next video, bye bye.